How could my sister take my money for years and still let our mother live in poverty? Why did I believe every update she gave me without checking? And what happened after I flew out and finally saw the truth with my own eyes? My name is Ethan Marris. I'm 41, a systems engineer working remotely from a small Chicago apartment. I fix problems: server configurations, network failures, security gaps. Problems have solutions if you approach them methodically. I thought family worked the same way. For 6 years, I sent my sister Kendra $500 every month. The arrangement was simple. She lived 3 hours from Mom. I lived 8. She'd handle groceries, utilities, prescriptions, repairs. I'd provide the funds. She sent updates, quick texts, occasional photos of Mom smiling, reassurances everything was covered. I believed every word. The payments became routine. First of every month, I'd transfer the money and feel like I was being a good son from a distance. Mom never complained. Kendra never asked for more unless something specific came up. The system worked. Until 3 weeks ago. Mom's voice sounded thin on the phone. Not sick, just smaller. We talked about nothing, then she mentioned her neighbor bringing soup. The way she said it made my chest tighten. Why did Mrs. Crane bring you soup? She's just kind. You know how she is. Mom, are you eating enough? A pause. Too long. Of course, honey. Don't worry. But I heard shame underneath. After we hung up, I stared at my laptop, opened my banking app, scrolled through 6 years of transfers every first of the month. $500, sometimes more. The numbers blurred. I calculated the total, then stopped because the amount didn't matter. What mattered was the question I'd never asked. Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible stories. Was any of it reaching Mom? I called her back. She sounded surprised. Twice in one day. What's the occasion? How's the heat working? It's fine. Kendra said she'd get someone to check the thermostat last month. Another pause. I'm not sure, sweetheart. I don't remember. Is the house warm enough? I've got a space heater in the living room. A space heater? In November, in Michigan. What about the furnace? It's expensive to run. I don't need every room warm. Something cracked in my chest. Are you getting your prescriptions on time? Most of them. Most? The pharmacy has trouble with insurance sometimes. I wait a few days. I closed my eyes. Mom, I send Kendra money every month for this. Silence. You know that, right? Yes. And I'm grateful. You're such a good son. Then why are you using a space heater and waiting for prescriptions? I don't want to be difficult. Your sister has expenses too. My stomach dropped. She told you money was tight? She and Joel have bills. I told her not to worry about me so much. Joel, Kendra's partner, smooth talker, easy smile, never reached for his wallet. Mom, the money I send is for you. I know, I just don't want to cause problems. That's when I understood. Mom wasn't hiding this because she didn't trust me. She was ashamed. Ashamed of needing help, of being a burden, of her daughter failing her. I'm coming to visit. You don't have to. I'll be there tomorrow. I booked a red-eye flight, packed a bag, set work to auto-response. Then I sat at my kitchen table feeling something shift inside me. Not anger, clarity. The kind that arrives when you realize you've been lied to so smoothly, you'd convinced yourself it was truth. At the airport, my hands were steady. My thoughts were not. I kept seeing Mom's kitchen from last Christmas. It had seemed fine. Had I been looking? Or just seeing what Kendra told me to see? The plane took off at midnight. I stared into darkness and thought about 6 years of payments and what they'd actually bought. I landed at 7, rented a car, drove through gray November dawn to Mom's house. The streets looked smaller than I remembered. Everything felt cold and exposed. Mom's house sat at the end of a quiet block. The lawn needed mowing. Gutters sagged. Paint peeled near the garage. I parked and sat, hands on the wheel. Then I saw the front window. A blanket hung as a curtain. Not decorative fabric, an actual blanket, taped to the frame. I walked to the door, knocked. Mom opened it wearing 2 sweaters. Both looked old. Her hair was thinner. Her face brightened, but underneath was panic. "Ethan, I didn't expect you so early." I hugged her. She felt smaller, lighter. The cold hit me immediately. The house was maybe 60 degrees. I could see my breath. "The furnace," I started. "I know. It's on my list. I keep the space heater in the living room." I looked past her into the kitchen. Bare counters, no coffee maker. The dish rack held 2 plates, 1 mug, 1 fork. The refrigerator hummed loudly, struggling. "Have you had breakfast?" I was about to make something. I opened the refrigerator. Half-empty milk, some eggs, old cheese, a jar of pickles, nothing else. The pantry held canned soup, pasta, rice, peanut butter, the inventory of someone stretching every dollar. Mom stood in the doorway, wringing her hands. "I haven't been to the store yet this week." "When's the last time Kendra took you shopping?" "She's been busy. I told her I could manage." I turned to face her. "Mom, I send money every month for groceries." "I know. Where's the food?" She looked at the floor. "I eat fine. I'm just not a big eater anymore." I felt something cold settle in my stomach. I walked through the house. Every room told the same story. Cheap soap in the bathroom, generic shampoo, dollar store toilet paper, an extra blanket piled on Mom's bed because the room was freezing. The space heater in the living room, old, exposed coils, dangerous. On the coffee table sat a stack of mail. I picked up the top envelope, utility bill, past due, 30 days. "Mom, I'm going to pay that. I need to wait until next week." "Why?" "That's when my check comes." Her Social Security check, 4 days away. Under the pile was a pharmacy notice, 3 prescriptions waiting, unpaid. My hands started shaking. I set the mail down and turned to Mom. She stood in the doorway looking like she wanted to disappear. "How long has this been going on?" "It's not as bad as it looks." "How long?" She closed her eyes. "A while." "A year? 2? I don't know exactly when things got tight." "Things aren't tight. I send $500 a month. That should cover everything." "Your sister has expenses." "This isn't about her expenses." My voice came out harder than I meant. I softened it. "The money is for you." Mom's face crumpled. "I didn't want to bother you. You work so hard. I know sending money is a sacrifice. It's not a sacrifice if it's not reaching you." She looked up. "Don't blame your sister. She's doing her best." That's when I realized how deep this went. Kendra hadn't just taken the money. She'd convinced Mom accepting less was being considerate. I pulled out my phone, showed her my banking app. "This is what I've sent over the last year. $6,000. Where did it go?" She stared at the numbers. "I don't know." "Has Kendra been buying groceries?" "Sometimes." "How often?" "Maybe once a month?" "Once a month. $500. 1 grocery trip." "What about bills?" "She said she paid them." "The utility bill is 30 days overdue." Mom went pale. She must have forgotten. "And your prescriptions?" "The pharmacy calls her. She picks them up when she can." "When she can." "Mom, you're rationing medication." "It's not that bad." "You're rationing medication and eating 1 meal a day and living in a house that's barely above freezing." Her voice came out as a whisper. "I didn't want you to worry." I sat next to her, put my arm around her thin shoulders. She leaned into me, shaking, not from cold, from shame. "This isn't your fault," I said quietly. We sat like that for a long time. Outside, a car drove past. Normal sounds, life continuing while everything I'd believed disintegrated. Finally, I stood. I'm taking you to get groceries, then the pharmacy, then calling someone about the furnace. You don't have to. Yes, I do. At the grocery store, Mom moved through aisles like someone expecting nothing. She reached for the cheapest options automatically. Store brand, day old, manager's special. I started replacing them with better versions. She protested every time. That's too expensive. It's fine. I don't need name brand. Mom, please. Let me do this. By checkout, the cart was full. Real food, fresh vegetables, good bread, coffee she actually liked. Her hands shook watching the cashier scan each item. This is too much, she whispered. It's not enough. At the pharmacy, I gave them Mom's name. The pharmacist frowned at her screen. We've been trying to reach the contact number. 3 prescriptions waiting. Insurance covered them, but nobody picked them up. How long? 2 weeks for the first one. 10 days for the others. My jaw tightened. I'll take them now. $42 total. I handed over my card. Mom stared at the floor. The pharmacist looked at her with recognition, not pity, understanding. Make sure you take these with food. If you ever have trouble getting here, we can set up delivery. Mom nodded without speaking. In the car, she broke. Quiet tears sliding down her face as she stared at the pharmacy bag. I'm sorry, she whispered. Don't apologize. I feel so stupid. You're not stupid. You trusted someone. We drove back in silence. I carried groceries inside and started putting things away. Mom moved slowly, like she was afraid to take up space. I'm calling someone about the furnace. It's expensive. I don't care. I found a local HVAC company. They could come tomorrow morning. I scheduled it, paid Mom's overdue utility bill online, ordered a new winter coat with overnight shipping. Mom watched from the kitchen table. You don't have to do all this. Yes, I do. Your sister will be upset. I looked at her. Why would she be upset that you're getting what you need? Mom didn't answer, just wrapped her arms around herself and looked away. That night, I slept on the couch. The space heater hummed nearby. I lay awake thinking about 6 years of payments and all the ways trust can be weaponized. In the back of my mind, a question formed, cold and clear. What else had Kendra lied about? The next morning, there was a knock. I opened the door to an older woman in a thick coat holding a covered dish. You must be Ethan. I'm Odelia Crane. I live 3 doors down. Mrs. Crane, come in. She stepped inside and looked around, saw the grocery bags, the new space heater I'd bought last night, saw me. So you finally came. No judgment, just statement. I didn't know, I said quietly. I figured. She handed me the dish. Casserole. Your mother needs to eat more. She didn't leave, just stood there, deciding something. How long has it been like this? I asked. She glanced toward the bedroom where Mom was sleeping. 2 years? Maybe more. Your mother's proud, doesn't ask for help, but I've seen the signs. What signs? Fewer groceries, thinner clothes. She stopped inviting me in because the house was too cold. She'd make excuses. But I'd see her at the store buying the cheapest everything, counting change, putting things back. My chest tightened. Did Kendra visit? Mrs. Crane's expression hardened. Oh, she visited. Once a month, maybe. Nice car, 20 minutes. A few photos for Facebook, then she'd leave. I'd watch your mother standing in the window looking lost. Why didn't anyone call me? Your mother made us promise, said you were busy, said you sent money, said Kendra was handling it. She was so insistent. You should have called anyway. Maybe. She met my eyes. But we're calling now. She needs real help, not just money. Someone who's actually here. After she left, I stood in the quiet house, feeling something crystallize. Not rage, something colder. The kind of anger that doesn't burn, it freezes. The furnace repair guy arrived at 9, went to the basement, came back looking confused. When's the last time this was serviced? I'm not sure. Filters completely clogged. Safety shutoff triggered. That's why it's not running. Can you fix it? Full service, cleaning, new filter, safety check, $300. I thought about Kendra's messages. Handling everything. The $900 I'd sent for emergency roof repair last spring. Do it. He worked, tools clanging. Then finally, warm air pushing through vents. Mom came out and stopped in the hallway, feeling the heat. "Oh," she said softly. "That's nice." I watched relief so deep, it hurt wash over her face. That afternoon, I drove to Kendra's address, a clean townhouse development, her car in the driveway, a newer sedan. Nice, maintained, patio furniture that looked new, a doormat saying "Blessed," an Amazon box waiting on the porch. I thought about Mom's broken zipper. At 5:30, Joel came home. Pickup truck, takeout bags from an expensive restaurant. He went inside. I waited 30 minutes, then drove back to Mom's. Kendra arrived at 7. Walked in without waiting for an answer. "Mom? Ethan?" I came out. She stood holding her purse, wearing that expensive coat, hair styled, nails perfect. She looked successful and completely unbothered. "Hey, what's this about?" "We need to talk." "Okay." She looked around. "Where's Mom?" "Resting." "Is she sick?" "No, tired." She sat, still smiling but more careful now. I stayed standing. "When's the last time you took Mom grocery shopping?" The smile flickered. "I don't know. A few weeks ago?" "When's the last time you picked up her prescriptions?" "The pharmacy calls when they're ready. I get them when I can. 3 prescriptions have been sitting there for 2 weeks. I've been busy. When's the last time you paid her utility bill?" Her face changed. Defensive. "I pay what I can when I can. Bills are complicated. I send you $500 a month. And I appreciate that. Where does it go?" Silence. "Kendra, I send you $6,000 a year to take care of Mom. Her house is 50 degrees. Her refrigerator is empty. Her prescriptions are unpaid. Her bills are overdue. Where is the money going?" She stood up. "How dare you? I've been handling everything while you sit in Chicago doing nothing." "Doing nothing? I've been sending you money every month for 6 years, $36,000. Where is it?" Her face flushed. "You have no idea what it costs. Gas money, time, the emotional labor." "The emotional labor! Yes! She's difficult. She doesn't want help. She's living in poverty. She's dramatic. She's rationing her medication." Kendra stopped, sat back down slowly. "Bills are tight," she said finally. "Joel and I have expenses, the townhouse, debt. I've been doing my best. With my money, our money, family money. No, my money, for Mom's care." She looked up. "Are you calling me a thief? I'm asking where the money went. Bills, expenses, life. Your life." Her eyes hardened. "You don't get to judge me. You're not here. You don't see what it's like." She doesn't complain. She apologizes. Kendra grabbed her purse. "I'm not doing this. You want to take over? Fine. Handle it yourself." She walked to the door. I didn't move. "I have records," I said. She stopped. "What?" "Every transfer, every date, every amount." She turned slowly. "So? So I'm going to find out where that money went. And if I find out you've been stealing, there will be consequences." Her face went pale, then red. "You're threatening me?" "I'm telling you the truth. You always thought you were better than me." She stopped herself. "Fine, you get to be the hero now. I hope it feels good." She left, slammed the door. Mom came out of her bedroom. She'd been awake the whole time. "You didn't have to do that." "Yes, I did. She'll be so angry. She should be worried." Mom looked at me, really looked. "What are you going to do?" I thought about the records, the dates, the amounts, the patterns. "I'm going to fix this," I said, "the right way." That night, I sat at Mom's kitchen table with my laptop and a legal pad. The house was warm. Mom had gone to bed exhausted. I had work to do. I opened a new document, titled it Timeline. Started from the beginning. 6 years ago. First transfer, April 2017, $500. Note: for Mom, groceries and utilities. I went month by month, every transfer, every amount, every occasion I'd sent extra. I noted what Kendra said each time, copied from old messages. Got it, thanks. Mom's all set. Handled, don't worry. Roof guy came today, all fixed. I cross-referenced dates. The roof repair I'd paid for still had missing shingles. The furnace just serviced hadn't been touched in years. Medical copays. Mom's prescriptions sat unpaid. Pattern after pattern. Lie after lie. By 2 a.m., I had 43 pages. Transfers, dates, claimed expenses, actual evidence. Clear and damning and completely factual. I saved it. Backed it up. Then researched. Elder financial abuse. That's what this was. When someone in a position of trust exploits an elderly person for financial gain. I read articles from legal sites, non-profits, state agencies. The patterns matched exactly. Isolation from family? Check. Control of finances? Check. Unmet basic needs while caregiver appears comfortable? Check. Reluctance of victim to report due to shame? Check. I made notes, learned terminology, understood the process. Then I searched for elder law attorney in Mom's area. Found 3 practices, made a note to call in the morning. I also found the County Adult Protective Services Office. Read their website. Learned what they investigate, what evidence they need, what outcomes they enforce. By 4 a.m., I had a plan. Not revenge, something better. A systematic approach to ending the exploitation and protecting Mom permanently. I slept 3 hours, woke to coffee Mom was making in her warm kitchen. You were up late. Working on something. What? Making sure this doesn't happen again. She sat down. Ethan, please don't make this a war. It's not war. It's correction. She's your sister. She's been stealing from you. Mom flinched. Don't say that. It's the truth. She's struggling. No. I kept my voice gentle but firm. There's no excuse that makes this okay. She took money meant to keep you safe and let you freeze and go hungry while she bought furniture and got her nails done. There's no understanding that. Mom's eyes filled. What are you going to do? Protect you. At 9, I called the first attorney, Rena Solberg. Her receptionist put me through after I explained the situation. Rena's voice was calm and professional. She asked questions. I answered with facts, no emotion, just timeline, amounts, evidence. Do you have documentation? Yes. Complete transfer records going back 6 years, text messages, receipts showing unmet needs. And your mother? Is she willing to cooperate? I glanced at Mom on the couch. I think so. She's scared, but she knows it was wrong. Can you come in this afternoon? I'll be there. After I hung up, Mom was quiet. Then she said, Are you going to send her to prison? No. I'm going to make sure she can't do this anymore. There's a difference. She'll lose everything. She already lost the right to be trusted. That afternoon I met Rena in her office downtown. Mid-40s, gray-streaked hair, sharp eyes, no-nonsense demeanor. I showed her everything. Timeline, transfer records, text messages, photos of Mom's house, the broken zipper, empty pantry, space heater, overdue bills. She read methodically, made notes, asked clarifying questions. Finally, she looked up. This is very clear. You've documented thoroughly. Is it enough? Enough to start several processes. Civil recovery, potentially criminal charges if we involve APS, and certainly enough to remove your sister's access to your mother's finances. What's the cleanest way? She leaned back. Cleanest for who? For you? Your mother? Your sister? For Mom. I want her protected. I want the stealing to stop. I don't want drama. Rena nodded. Then we file for financial guardianship review. Submit documentation to Adult Protective Services. Let the systems work. It's not dramatic, just procedural, but permanent. How long? 3 weeks, maybe 4. There'll be a hearing. Your sister will be notified. She'll have a chance to respond. And if she can't prove the money went to Mom's care? The court restricts her access, orders repayment if appropriate, creates oversight. Your mother gets protected. I thought about Kendra's face last night. The anger, the defensiveness, the complete lack of remorse. Let's do it. By the time I left, the process was started, papers filed, notifications scheduled, the machinery of consequence in motion. That evening, I called Adult Protective Services, spoke to caseworker Dana Whitcomb. Younger than I expected, late 30s, professional and thorough. I need to report suspected financial exploitation. Tell me what you've observed. I went through it. Facts, timeline, evidence. Dana took notes, asked questions, explained the investigation process. We'll need to interview your mother. She's scared. They usually are. But we're here to help. When? Tomorrow afternoon. Will you be there? Yes. After I hung up, I told Mom what was happening. She listened without interrupting. I feel like I'm betraying her, she said finally. You're not. You're protecting yourself. She's my daughter, and she hurt you. Mom looked at her hands. I still love her. I know, but love doesn't mean letting someone hurt you. The next day, Dana came to the house, professional but warm. She sat with Mom at the kitchen table and asked gentle questions. How long? What needs weren't met? Did Mom feel safe? Could she speak freely? Mom answered honestly, quietly. Told her about the cold house, empty pantry, unpaid prescriptions, about Kendra's promises and excuses, about feeling ashamed and afraid to cause problems. Dana took notes, photographed overdue bills, asked permission to speak with Mom's doctor, the pharmacy, the utility company. Mom gave it. When Dana left, she told me privately, "This is a clear case. We'll complete investigation within 10 days. Your attorney will receive our findings." That night, I let myself feel tired. The kind of exhaustion that comes from holding something heavy and finally setting it down. Mom sat next to me. The house was warm. The refrigerator was full. Her prescriptions lined up on the counter with a schedule I'd made. "Thank you," she said softly. "You don't have to thank me." "Yes, I do." She took my hand. Hers was thin and cold. I held it carefully. "I'm sorry I didn't see it sooner." "You're seeing it now. That's what matters." But I knew better. Seeing it now meant she'd suffered for years, while I sent money and trusted Kendra and never checked. That failure would sit with me forever. 2 days later, Kendra called. Her voice was tight, angry. "What did you do? What are you talking about? APS showed up at my house, asked questions about Mom, about finances. What did you tell them?" "The truth." "You reported me?" "I reported what I observed." "You bastard." I hung up. She called back immediately. I didn't answer. She left a voicemail. "We need to talk. This is insane. You can't just destroy my life. Call me back." I deleted it. That night, Mrs. Crane knocked with more casserole and a knowing look. "Your sister called me. Tried to get me to tell you to back off. Said you were overreacting." "What did you tell her?" "I told her I'd seen your mother counting coins to buy bread while Kendra drove around in a nice car. Then I hung up." I smiled. First time in days. "Good." Mrs. Crane looked past me to where Mom sat in the warm living room. "You did the right thing." "I hope so." "Hope nothing. I've been watching this family 20 years. Sometimes doing the right thing looks mean. Doesn't make it wrong." After she left, I looked at my calendar. 3 weeks until the hearing. 3 weeks to keep Mom safe, keep documentation organized, and keep Kendra from doing anything desperate. I had a feeling it would be a long 3 weeks. Kendra tried everything over the next 10 days. First came angry texts, Dozens, paragraphs about betrayal and family loyalty, and how I was ruining her life over a misunderstanding. I didn't respond. Then phone calls. To me, to Mom, to relatives I hadn't spoken to in years. She told everyone I was having a breakdown, that I'd shown up and convinced Mom she was being abused, that I was trying to steal Mom away. Some people believed her. An aunt called, concerned. A cousin sent a worried email. I responded to each the same way. Visit Mom yourself, see how she's living, then we'll talk. None came. Then Kendra tried manipulation through Mom. She'd show up unannounced, crying, begging Mom to tell me to stop, saying she'd made mistakes but was trying, saying she'd lose everything. Mom would call me after, voice shaking. She says she's going to lose her house. That's not my problem. She's scared. She should be. Can't we work this out as a family? We are working it out, the right way. But I could hear the toll, the guilt, the divided loyalty, the fear that she was destroying her daughter's life by telling the truth. That's when Kendra tried her smartest move. She showed up with Joel and a folder of papers. I was there when they arrived. They looked serious, prepared. I opened the door. "We need to talk," Kendra said. No anger, something closer to desperation. "About what?" "About fixing this. Mom doesn't need to be part of this. She's the most important part." "Then you should have remembered that 6 years ago." Her jaw tightened. "Please, 30 minutes. I let them in. Mom sat on the couch, hands folded. Kendra sat next to her. Joel stayed by the door. "We've been talking," Kendra started, "and we realized we could have handled things better." I stayed silent. Money got tight. We made bad choices. We borrowed from the fund and should have asked. Should have been honest. You should have not stolen from our mother. It wasn't stealing. It was borrowing. And we want to make it right. She opened the folder. Pulled out papers. "We're willing to set up a repayment plan. $500 a month until everything's paid back." I looked at the papers without touching them. "How much do you think you owe?" "We calculated about $15,000 over 3 years. Try $36,000 over 6 years. Her face went white. "That's not... You didn't keep track, because I did." Joel shifted. "Look, man, we can't repay that. We don't have it. But we're trying." The right thing would have been keeping Mom's heat on. He shut his mouth. Kendra leaned forward. "Please, if this goes to court, we'll lose our house. Joel might lose his job. We'll be ruined." "And Mom was what? Comfortable?" "That's not fair." "It's perfectly fair." She stood. "Fine. You want to destroy me? Go ahead. But don't pretend this is about Mom. This is about you feeling superior. It's about $36,000 and a woman living in a cold house with an empty refrigerator while her daughter got her nails done." Kendra's composure cracked. "I hate you." "I know." She grabbed the folder. "Come on, Joel." They left. Mom sat very still. "She's not wrong," Mom said quietly. "About the destroying part. I'm not destroying her. I'm stopping her. It feels the same from where she's sitting. Then she shouldn't have stolen from you." Mom looked up. "When did you become so hard?" The question hit me. I sat down. "I'm not hard. I'm done pretending this is complicated. She hurt you, repeatedly, with full knowledge. That's simple. She's still my daughter. And I'm still your son, the one who cared if you froze." Mom's eyes filled. "I don't want you two to hate each other." "Then she should have thought about that before she cashed my checks and ignored your needs." That night, I got a text from an unknown number. "This is Joel. We need to meet. Just us. I have something to tell you." I stared at the message, thought about ignoring it. Then, curiosity won. "Where?" "Diner on Route 9. Tomorrow, 7 a.m. Come alone." I showed up at 6:50. Joel was already there, sitting in a back booth, looking like he hadn't slept. I slid in across from him. "What do you want?" "To tell you the truth." "About?" He looked around, leaned forward. Kendra's been lying about more than you know. I'm listening. The money you sent. I knew it was for your mom. Kendra told me from the start, but she said it was extra, that your mom didn't need it, that you were just trying to look good. I sent it because mom needed it. I know that now, but Kendra's good at making you believe what she wants. She said the money was practically ours, family money, shared resources. It wasn't. I know. He rubbed his face. At first it was little things. Gas, groceries for us, bills, then bigger. We started counting on it, budgeting for it. Every month you'd send it and she'd tell me your mom was fine and I'd believe her. Did you ever visit mom? He shook his head. Kendra said she was difficult, that she didn't like me. I stayed in the car when Kendra went in. So you never saw how she was living? No. He looked genuinely ashamed. I didn't want to see. Why are you telling me this? Because I'm scared. Kendra thinks she can charm her way out. But I've seen your documentation. If this goes to court, we're done, and I can't lose everything because she wouldn't stop. What do you want from me? I want to cooperate. Tell the truth. Testify if needed. I'll confirm everything. I studied him. He looked sincere, also terrified. In exchange for what? Nothing. I just need this to stop. And I need you to know I didn't understand how bad it was. You would have what? Done something? Or just felt guilty while cashing my checks? He looked away. I deserve that. Yeah, you do. I left without ordering. Drove back thinking about Joel's scared face and Kendra's crumbling control and the hearing 2 weeks away. Later that day, Rena called. We have a problem. Your sister filed a counterclaim. She's alleging you've coerced your mother into making false accusations. She's requesting a psychiatric evaluation to determine competency. My hands tightened. She's claiming mom is incompetent? She's claiming you've manipulated her. Standard deflection tactic. Can she do that? She can request it. The court will decide. But it'll add time. How much? A few weeks, maybe a month. I felt something cold settle in my chest. She's trying to drag this out. Yes. The longer it takes, the more chances she has to pressure your mother or paint you as the aggressor. What do? We counter. Submit Dana's APS report when complete. Submit medical records showing your mother's cognitive function is fine. Show the pattern, and wait. I don't want mom going through psychiatric evaluation. She probably won't have to. This is a stalling tactic, but be prepared for it to get uglier. After I hung up, I told mom what Kendra had done. Her face crumpled. She's saying I'm not thinking clearly? She's saying I'm manipulating you. That's not... I know what happened. I'm not confused. I know. But Kendra's going to fight hard. She has everything to lose. Mom stood, walked to the window. I don't want to do this anymore. I know. Can't we just stop? Forget it? Move on? And let her do this to someone else's mother? Mom turned. What? If she gets away with this, what's to stop her from doing it again? To someone who doesn't have a son who checks? She stared at me. You think she'd do that? I think she thinks she's entitled to other people's money, and that's dangerous to leave unchecked. Mom sat down heavily. When did she become this person? I don't know. Maybe she always was and we didn't see it. That night, I added one more entry to my timeline, dated today. Sister filed counterclaim alleging coercion and incompetency. Under it, I noted Joel's offer to testify. 2 weeks. 2 weeks until the hearing. 2 weeks until the truth landed in a room where charm and deflection wouldn't work. I could wait. The hearing was scheduled for Thursday at 10. I woke at 5, couldn't go back to sleep. Just lay on Mom's couch, listening to the furnace run, thinking about everything that led here. Mom made coffee at 6. Her hands were shaking. You don't have to go, I can handle this. No, I need to be there. It's going to be hard. I know. We drove to the courthouse in silence. Old stone building. Cold. We went through security, found the right floor, sat on a wooden bench. Rena arrived at 9:30, calm and prepared. How are you feeling? Ready? Good. Dana's already here. The judge will hear from her first, then we'll present your documentation, then your sister will respond. What happens after? The judge makes a ruling. Could be today, could be next week. But based on what we have, I'm confident. At 9:50, Kendra arrived, wearing a suit, hair perfect, Joel beside her looking like he wished he was anywhere else. She saw us and her face hardened. Ready to ruin your sister's life? Ready to tell the truth. Her attorney, expensive suit, bored expression, gestured for her to stay quiet. They went into the courtroom. At 10 exactly, we were called in. The hearing room was smaller than expected, more conference room than courtroom. The judge was a woman in her 60s with gray hair and a no-nonsense expression. She sat at the head of a long table. We sat on opposite sides. Dana Whitcomb sat to the side with a folder. The judge looked over her glasses. Let's begin. This is a review hearing regarding alleged financial exploitation of Marlene Marris by her daughter, Kendra Marris. Ms. Whitcomb, I've read your preliminary report. Please summarize. Dana stood, opened her folder. Adult Protective Services conducted a full investigation over the past 2 weeks. We interviewed Mrs. Marris multiple times, reviewed financial records, spoke with her physician, pharmacist, and several neighbors. Our findings are consistent with financial exploitation. Mrs. Marris has been living with unmet basic needs, inadequate heating, insufficient food, delayed medication, while her daughter, who was receiving regular financial support from Mrs. Marris's son, showed no evidence of directing those funds to Mrs. Marris's care. The judge made notes. Quantify the support. $6,000 per year for 6 years. $36,000 total, designated specifically for Mrs. Marris's living expenses. Kendra's attorney spoke up. Your Honor, my client disputes these findings. The money was used for Mrs. Marris's benefit. We'll get to that. Continue, Ms. Whitcomb. Dana pulled out photographs, passed them to the judge. These show conditions in Mrs. Marris's home 2 weeks ago. Inadequate heat source, empty pantry, overdue utility bills, unpaid prescriptions, consistent with neglect. The judge studied the photos. Her expression didn't change, but something shifted in the room. The weight of evidence settling. Mrs. Marris, are these photos accurate? Mom's voice came out small. Yes. Were you aware your son was sending money to your daughter for your care? Yes. Did you receive that care? Silence. Then quietly, not all of it. Why didn't you report this? Mom looked at her hands. She's my daughter. I didn't want to cause problems. The judge nodded, like she'd heard this before. Mr. Marris, you've submitted documentation. Let's review it. Rena handed over my timeline. Transfer records, text messages, receipts, everything organized, dated, clear. The judge read in silence for 5 minutes. Only sound was pages turning. Finally, she looked up. Ms. Marris, your brother has documented $36,000 in transfers over 6 years. Can you provide evidence this money was used for your mother's care? Kendra leaned forward. Your Honor, I spent years managing my mother's needs. Gas money, time, emotional labor. I asked for evidence. Receipts, bank statements, proof of payment to utilities, pharmacies, groceries, repairs. Kendra's attorney shuffled papers. We're still compiling those records. You've had 2 weeks since the counterclaim. Where are they? Silence. Let me rephrase. Do you have any documentation showing how the funds were spent? More silence. Then Kendra said, some money went to household expenses. Joel and I have bills. Your household bills are not your mother's responsibility. We were struggling. That doesn't give you the right to redirect funds designated for her care. Kendra's composure cracked. This is ridiculous. He's making it sound like I'm some kind of criminal. I took care of her for years. You accepted financial support designated for her care and did not provide adequate care. That's textbook financial exploitation. She's exaggerating. She's dramatic. Ms. Marris. The judge's voice cut through. Your mother was living in a 50-degree house with an empty refrigerator while you drove a newer car and lived in comfortable housing. The evidence supports a pattern of exploitation. Unless you can provide documentation to the contrary, I'm inclined to rule accordingly. Kendra turned to Joel. Tell them it wasn't like that. Joel looked at her, then at me, then at the judge. I can't, he said quietly. Kendra's face went white. What? I can't lie about this anymore. He turned to the judge. Everything he's documented is true. We took the money. We knew it was for her mother. We used it anyway. Joel. Kendra grabbed his arm. He pulled away. I'm done. I can't keep pretending this was okay. The judge made more notes. Thank you for your honesty, Mr. Hargreaves. That's noted for the record. Kendra looked like she was going to be sick. Her attorney whispered something. She shook her head. Stood. This is insane. I made mistakes. I admit that. But I was trying. You were stealing, I said. She whirled on me. How dare you? You left. You ran away and sent money like that, fixed everything. I know what it's like to send $36,000 and trust my sister to do the right thing. And I know what it's like to find my mother rationing medication because you decided your comfort was more important than her survival. I hate you. You've made that clear. The judge's voice cut through. Enough. This is a hearing, not family therapy. She looked at Kendra. Do you have any evidence to present? Any documentation that contradicts what's been submitted? Kendra slumped in her chair. No. Then here's my ruling. Based on the evidence presented by Adult Protective Services and Mr. Ethan Marris, I find clear and convincing evidence of financial exploitation. Effective immediately, Kendra Marris's access to any accounts, funds, or financial instruments related to Marlene Marris is terminated. All financial decisions regarding Mrs. Marris will require approval from court-appointed monitor until further review. Kendra's attorney tried to speak. Your Honor, if I could request... No, this is effective immediately. Mrs. Marris has been living in neglectful conditions for an extended period. There will be no delay in protection. She turned to Dana. APS will conduct monthly check-ins for the next 6 months. Mr. Marris, you'll work with Ms. Solberg to establish proper financial oversight. And Ms. Marris, you and Mr. Hargreaves should expect follow-up from the county regarding potential restitution. Kendra's face crumpled. You're ruining my life. No, the judge said. You did that yourself. The hearing ended. Papers were signed. Dana handed me a folder with instructions. Rena scheduled follow-up. We walked into the hallway. Kendra was by the wall, crying. Joel stood apart, looking lost. I walked past without stopping. Mom hesitated, then followed. Ethan, Kendra called. I didn't turn. Ethan, please. I'm sorry. I'll fix this. I'll pay it back. Just please. I kept walking. Down the hallway. Down the stairs. Out into cold November air. Mom caught up in the parking lot. She's falling apart. Good. Ethan, no, Mom. She doesn't get sympathy. She had 6 years to do the right thing and chose herself every time. She's still my daughter. And I'm still your son. The one who cared if you froze. We got in the car. Mom was crying quietly. I drove in silence. Later that afternoon, Malcolm Reyes from the bank called. I'd spoken with him last week as part of documentation. Mr. Marris, I wanted to inform you we've completed our compliance review. Based on the court ruling, all access to accounts associated with your mother has been restricted. Additionally, we've flagged several transfers for potential clawback under financial exploitation statutes. What does that mean? It means your sister may be required to return the funds. The bank will cooperate fully with any court-ordered restitution. Thank you. After I hung up, I sat at Mom's kitchen table and felt something release in my chest. Not satisfaction, just completion. The thing I'd set out to do was done. Mom came and sat across from me. What happens now? Now you live safely. Heat stays on. Prescriptions get filled, bills get paid. Nobody takes advantage of you again. And Kendra? Kendra faces consequences. She'll never forgive you. I can live with that. Mom reached across and took my hand. Thank you. You already said that. I'm saying it again. That evening, my phone buzzed nonstop. Kendra calling, texting, long messages about how I'd destroyed her, how she'd lose everything, how I was heartless and cruel. I blocked the number. Joel called once, left a voicemail. I know you have no reason to trust me, but I want you to know I'm leaving. I can't be part of this anymore. I should have stopped it years ago. I'm sorry. I saved that voicemail. Not forgiveness, just evidence that even enablers have limits. The next morning, Mrs. Crane knocked with another casserole. How'd it go? It's done. She can't access Mom's finances anymore. Mrs. Crane smiled. Good. About damn time. You're not worried it was too harsh? Harsh? She let your mother freeze. There's no such thing as too harsh. Mom made coffee, and we all sat in the warm living room. What now? Mom asked. Now I stay for a while. Make sure systems are in place. You can't stay forever. I can stay long enough. The truth was, I didn't know what came next. But I knew one thing. The stealing had stopped. The neglect had ended. Mom could live her remaining years with dignity and warmth and full prescriptions. That was enough. That evening, I opened my laptop one last time, looked at the timeline document. 43 pages. I saved it to 3 locations: evidence, insurance, memory. Then I closed the laptop and sat with Mom in her warm house and felt nothing but quiet resolve. Somewhere across town, Kendra was dealing with consequences of 6 years of choices. Her phone buzzing with collection calls, her partner walking out, her comfortable life collapsing because it had been built on theft. I didn't feel guilty. I didn't feel triumphant. I just felt done.